So today we are going to try the Sons of Forest. Here it is, which recently got released. We are going to try it on i3-12100F paired with the Mobo Asus Prime B660M-A, as you can see here. And the GPU we are using is a RTX 3060 Ti. The variant I have is of Gigabyte Vision, the white one. So as you can see, I'm not using any undervolt, underclock or overclock. As you can see, it is on stock settings. So also the driver version I'm using right now is 531.29. I faced couple of issues with this driver and the previous one, but for the sake of testing we're just gonna use this driver. Also the RAMs we are using is ADATA XPG D50, 2 sticks of 8 GB, so total of 16 gigs of RAM we have available right now. So let's get into the game and see how much FPS we will get. So as you can see, we are in the game. So first we are going to try it on 1080p maxed out preset. VSync is disabled and maximum FPS cap is also disabled. So here it is, all the settings. As you can see, we are on maxed out preset. As you can see, there is not more presets available. It is the ultra preset which is max. So anti-aliasing is TAA. We are not using DLSS or anything through dynamic resolution or anything. It's native 1080p. So let's get into the game, apply, and let's get into the games and see how much FPS we get. So as you can see, we are in the game. So now it is using 15 gigs of RAM, which is kind of too much. Like we are nearly maxing out the RAM. So I noticed like the today's game consumed too much RAM. Like previously 8 gigs of RAM was enough to run the game. Like the game would run smoothly if you don't run anything in the background, just the game. So I also feeling some stutters. So yeah, what was I saying? I was telling you about the RAM. So previously games usually run just fine on 8 gigs of RAM. Now 16 gigs is the new 8 gigs. I say this in every benchmark I do because I'm noticing it too much now that games need more than 16 gigs of RAM now to run smoothly even on 1080p. So we are under 60 FPS even on 1080p, which is quite surprising for me. So let's go further into the forest and see. So as you can see, the game is not using CPU that much, 6% 9% CPU usage, as you can see above, but GPU usage is high. So CPU usage is not that high. So this game is not CPU intensive, this game is totally GPU intensive. So as we go further into the forest, deep into the forest, we go above 60, but it is not stable 60 above FPS. So I guess DLSS we should use here even on 1080p to get stable FPS, stutter free gameplay. As you notice, we are facing some stutters right now. It is pretty much smooth. We are going, as you can see here in the graph, see the two lines, the stutters I felt. So as we come near water, as you can hear the water, so as we come near water, the FPS starts to drop under 60 or 65. So yeah, I would recommend you guys to upgrade your RAM ASAP because the games which are going to come, The Last of Us Part 1 and all, will need more than 16 gigs of RAM. Now here we have 80 FPS. So yeah, it is not stable above 60 FPS experience, but it is playable above 60 FPS experience, I would call it, or whatever you wanna call it. So it is also using 6.4 gigs of VRAM, which is quite normal. So also it is drawing 190, 170, 180 watts, the GPU I'm talking about. So yeah, as you can see, I guess we should turn the DLSS on so we can get above 60 FPS, like constant above 60 FPS. So here it is, dynamic resolution. Okay, dynamic resolution is here. So balance, quality, performance. So if I wanna use it on quality, so everything is same, maxed out. Everything is maxed out, as you can see here. I just changed DLSS settings and using quality DLSS, so now it is not native 1080p. So now, as you can see, game is kinda smooth, like they are not dropping under 60. Still there are minor stutters, but they are kinda lesser than previously on native 1080p, I guess. Still the RAM usage is 15.4 gigs, VRAM usage is 6.6 gigs. Now it is using more RAM. Previously I guess it was 6.4 gigs. Normally it should consume less VRAM. I don't know. Weird. Now it is drawing less power. Previously it was drawing like 190 watt, I guess. Let's go near water and see. Water physics takes too much of a GPU. I wanna see the power draw. Okay, so here also the power draw is below 150. Previously it was above 190, 180, 190, 170. Now it is below 150. So yeah, the stutters I felt are way less than previous native 1080p. So yeah, if you really wanna max out the settings on 1080p on this rig, you should consider using DLSS on quality. Also, I can't tell a difference between DLSS and the native 1080p, as the edges of leaves are smooth. Like, I am not feeling it is 720p or something like that downscaled image. That's the whole purpose of DLSS. So yeah, I guess you got the idea. Also, I guess the RAM is restricting the FPS. I'm not using any Chrome or anything in the background or Discord in the background. It's just the game running. Here I felt the stutters, but it is like lesser than before. So for the most part, we are staying above 65. We dropped down to 59, but not lesser than that. So RAM is also restricting, I guess. So if you have like 32 gigs of RAM with the same GPU and CPU, you will get like better FPS. Also, this game is not CPU intensive, so better GPU would do its trick. So let's go to 1440p and see. You can see now we are in 1440p. Sync is off as usual. So the settings is the maxed out preset available in the game. Everything is on ultra. DLSS is off. Everything is same as the previous 1080p benchmark. So here in the game, as you can see, it is consuming above 15 gigs of RAM like previously, but VRAM usage is really high as previously. Previously the VRAM usage was 6.4, 6.2, I guess. Now it is 6, above 7 gigs of VRAM it is using. Also we are staying below 60 FPS, well below 60 FPS for the most part. Previously we were staying above 60 FPS for the most part, but dropping under 60 from time to time, but now we are staying under 60 for the most part. Also the power draw was below 200 watts on 1080p native. Now on 1440p native the power draw is above 200 watts. So yeah, now we are getting above 60 fps away from water. So here is also water. So the CPU usage is still low as same previously. CPU is also not drawing much of a power. It is GPU which is drawing most of the power. So yeah, With 1440p, native 1440p on maxed out preset, you will get like playable experience. You can play this game like this, but I would prefer to get like above 60 fps, stable above 60 fps. The fps won't drop down under 60, just like we got in 1080p with DLSS quality. So I would try the same with DLSS quality in 1440p. Here is the stutter graph time, frame time graph can show you that. So everything is on ultra as previously. So now we are just going to try DLSS on quality. So now DLSS is on quality, everything is same. Also the field of view is on 70. If you increase the field of view, the FPS will obviously drop. So with DLSS on quality, now we are getting like same FPS as we were getting with 1080p. Here is someone dead. Okay. I don't wanna pick up items. I just wanna consider on FPS at all. So VRAM usage with DLSS increases. Even on 1080p VRAM usage increase. Now VRAM usage also increased. Previously it was 7.1 on native 1440p. With DLSS on quality, now it is using 7.3 gigs of VRAM. Also power draw is lesser, way lesser than 1440p native. Previously it was above 220, 210. Now it is under 200 for the most part. Also FPS is now stable. Here we dropped down to 53. So I guess on 1440p this is the playable experience without considerably lowering the resolution through DLSS. If I turn the DLSS on balance, it will obviously increase the FPS, but I guess I would prefer to play it like this and don't lower the dynamic resolution much, so I can fully enjoy the 1440p experience. Otherwise I don't think there is a point of playing this game on 1440p with performance or balanced DLSS with blurred leaves and all. As you can see, leaves are not blurred, the corners, so it's better to play on 1080p with quality DLSS if you go to balance or like performance DLSS. So I guess from here we will get like above 60 fps for the most part. We are in the dense forest, as you can see. Still the fps is in 70ish fps we are getting, so it will drop under 60, but for some seconds it will drop down. For the most part it will stay above 70. So I guess we should try 4K now. I can guess like on 4K we would need to go further up with DLSS. Like we would need to try balanced DLSS and performance DLSS, because this card is not for 4K gaming. So let's go further up. So as you can see we are on 4K right now, so everything is same, the maxed out settings. So we should try with quality DLSS, because even on native 1080p we were getting stutters. So on 4K obviously we will drop down under 30 fps. That's pretty obvious. So I will start with quality DLSS on maxed out setting on 4K. So DLSS is on quality and settings is on maxed out setting. So in the game, even in quality DLSS, there are stutters all around, as you can see in the frame time graph. Huge frame drops. I'm feeling little lag. So I would never prefer to play any game like this. So we are not even touching 60 fps with 4K quality DLSS. So clearly I'm feeling lag. Stutters are also pretty bad actually. So without wasting any time, I guess also VRAM is nearly maxing out. It is using 7.7 gigs of VRAM, so 8 gigs of VRAM is available. So if we turn DLSS on Furthermore, I guess it will use more VRAM as previously it used more VRAM. Also on DLSS quality it is consuming above 220 watts. So let's go to balance DLSS. So now DLSS is on balance with max dot preset. Even on balanced DLSS I am not seeing like considerable gain. This is still we are not touching 60ish FPS. Let me recheck everything maxed out. Yeah, on balanced DLSS we are not like touching 60 FPS, not even, though it is not going under 40. Previously it was going under 40, so I was feeling lag because of it. Now it touch 40 and go up, so all of a sudden. So another thread, but here near water, huge lag. Oh, fuck. In water you can't play on 4K. Lol. Even on balanced DLSS. So water physics is doing its work. So if you don't go in water, stay away from water, you will get like above 40 FPS, even near 50 FPS, but not above 60. So this is not the preferable settings to play on for any gamers. So go to performance DLSS, but now the leaves and all this stuff would be blurry, so you won't feel it is 4K, but it is not that bad. I like DLSS, that's why FSR 1.0 sucks. Like I am not feeling too much blur. Let's see the grass. It's not that much, you won't be able to tell the difference, but still we are not touching 60 FPS, so I would not recommend to play this game on 4K even with DLSS on this rig on 3060 Ti. So it is even near water. Now it is better, as previously we were dropping under 30, but now at least we are above 30 even in water with performance DLSS on 4K. So I would not recommend to play this game on 3060 Ti with 4K resolution. 1440p is enough for this GPU in this game and in most of the games, as this GPU is for 1440p gaming. So yeah, I guess you got the idea. Video got kinda long, I guess. So peace out.